All right, welcome back to my mother-in-law's guest bedroom again, where I'm staying here for a couple months to avoid the Florida heat. We are in part dose of Can AI Build This on my channel, which I'm completely forgetting the name of because I keep changing it. I think it's AI Builds with Matt instead of Matt Builds with AI, because really AI is doing the heavy lifting here. AI is doing most of the work. I'm just prompting it, suggesting it, reviewing its work and making some suggestions. So we made it pretty far last time. Let's just kind of check out what we did here real quick. Let me pull this up and make sure I have all this set up. Yep, perfect. Okay. So that's all set up. Okay, cool. On a side note, I got 1 view, which led to 1 like and 1 subscriber. So thank you, subscriber. Thank you for subscribing and joining in. I have a fan. I have an OnlyFan, so that's pretty nice. Having one, I've heard a lot of good news about OnlyFan, and basically, we're just gonna keep going with this activity here, and see how far we can get. I don't think it's gonna take that long. Let's just jump into it, see what bugs we have, because there's frequently bugs, especially when you first produce something. And yeah, let's just go from there. So I've already pulled it up. I have just pulled this up because we can also check out the network and the console and see if anything pops up here. So I noticed something when I was first playing around with this. So I wasn't able to do just Orlando, Florida. Let's say I do age groups. We have time. Let's just do it's all outdoor. That also needs to be more clear. And I can't seem to choose anything. I thought it was maybe this. It's not that. The problem is I need to choose use my location. And so when I do current location, it then works. Okay. So I need to basically I need to make some suggestions. So let's just go here and say a few things to fix. 1, I cannot enter a city. Well, let's just see. A city zipper address or address. Oh, let me see. Let me choose this. When I enter a city zipper address, I cannot click on the Find Activities button. It stays gray and unclickable. 2, when I do my current location and I hit Find, fail to execute this. Okay, here we go. When I choose my current location and click Find Activities, this error pops up. Okay, and 3, the UI, desktop UI, age range, and venue type, the buttons need to be left aligned. The desktop view, age, range, and venue type. Center aligned. Okay. And yeah, let's go from there. Oh, by the way, so there's nothing in their search. Let's see the post request. I'm not sure if. Let me clear this real quick and let me do find activity again. There we go. Now it's interesting that. Okay. 405 not allowed. Oh. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, it has something to do with something to do with the object. This is what's in the exact phrasing headers in the network tab. Okay. And then we'll look at the console. Yep, it's the same exact thing, so it's fine. All right, so let's go with this. So what I think is happening is it's just incorrectly formatting the URL for this Grok search. So let's just see, because again, like I mentioned in part 1, I've never used Grok in order to do this, so I'm very curious how it actually works. Not curious enough to dive into the docs anymore now that I got AI, am I right? So I'll just have AI figure that out for me here. Let's see. So it's gonna think through this. Let's see where it goes. On a plus note here, or what? If you address this, okay, find activities button disabled with manual. The button is disabled with Latin launch are only set with use my location is clicked. Yep, okay, solution. For now, the button will remain disabled if coordinates are not set. I'll add a clear instruction to use my location as primary way to set coordinates for search. Implementing automatic geolocation. Okay, that's fine. Not a big deal. I would like to be able to search other locations, but again, let's get something on the board. Let's not worry about that too much. Okay. Unexpected end of JSON input. Here we go. Secondary effect because 4 or 5 responses invalid. This is due to the fetcher function being called by solution. I'll correct the way the fetcher function is passed. And body parameters. Okay. Yeah, see, so body has to be separate. So they tried including in the URL, which is kind of a weird thing to do. Again, I think I mentioned this before. Oh, look at that. Age range and venue type. Okay. That is fixed. So let's publish this. Or rather, let's deploy it. So yeah, so again, it does kind of weird things sometimes where it's like, why would you try to include an object in the URL? You can pass, certain things in the URL, but certainly not an object. So it's kind of funny that it does that instead of just passing the body. It just has these weird little bugs that they need to work on. But again, this is insane for what it can do. That's the crazy thing. Like even the other coding ones, like I've played around with this with Claude and ChatGPT, and they're all fine at coding. And I've done, the ones like in the text editors, Cursor and Klein, I think it's called, or Clive. I don't remember. Clive, whichever one it is, costs so much money to use anyway. It's just really not worth it. But this one can just do so much for so little. All right, so let's refresh here. There we go. Okay, everything is aligned. So we're going to click manually entry requires future geocoding. Okay, so we're going to do future geocoding integration later. They're giving me an error message personally. That's okay. So let's just find activities. Nope. Okay, same error. Well, nope, different error. Let's see. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to give it, let me see. Where's the payload? This was the payload. Okay, this was the payload. So here we go. So I'm going to give it another error. Oh, and here's the explanation of the change. We'll read through that in a second here. And then we'll go to the payload. Yeah, that's easier. Okay. Payload. Go to headers, quest. Headers, payload. Okay. And let me see if there's anything else I want to grab to throw their way. Is this going to help them? I don't know. Yeah, and I've never really been privy to the details of this exact, how to read through this. I normally just see what's in the console. But let's give it to this one and see. Okay, so let's scroll back up, take a quick look at what they did and see what's going on here. So the fetcher function passes now correctly expects the key. Okay. This key to pass the URL to the original fetcher. Okay, location, input clarification. Okay, alignment fixed. Yep, that worked. Okay. These changes solve the critical 405 error. Alignment. Okay, let's see what happens. Well, okay. Looks like the primary issue is that the API route is still in the pages. Okay. Yeah, see, they have this issue with routers. I don't get what it is, but, if my subscriber happens to work at VO, this is something I've run into a ton of times, and it would be great if you guys could fix this. Let's see. Okay. A 405 method not allowed. Okay, let's deploy, because deploy takes a minute here, and I'll keep seeing. file. Okay, so maybe that's the issue. Maybe it was just a path kind of issue, a file path issue. Which again is fairly common here. Route handler pattern you're on. So, I mean, maybe that was just it. I don't know. Hopefully that's the situation here. Okay. So, okay. Let's see what's going on. Ooh, I'm not getting really good. I guess my frames are dropping or something on here. I'm going to have to look into this. Maybe while I do this. Okay, anyway. Sorry, guys. I'm new to streaming, so the video is buffering for some reason. I'm assuming that's like a streaming thing. Hopefully, it'll fix itself once it uploads. Not that anybody watches me live, so maybe it doesn't matter. And it's completely fine. But we'll find out here soon. Again, mother-in-law's guest bedroom. I'm not exactly plugged into the internet. I probably could get a cord, but I have to run it pretty far. Maybe I just do it just while I'm streaming, and maybe that's fine. Okay, so let's refresh. Use my location. Find activity. Whoa, something's happening. Whoa. Okay, so something else happened. It's a 403 now. This is a better error because now there's a response. Okay, so let's send this. We're going to send in the response. Your newly created team doesn't have any credits yet. I can purchase credits. Okay, excellent. So this is not a error on that part. This is an error on my part because I simply have not used Grok before. So let's purchase some credits. Okay, let's do that. Let's make this happen here. So this might actually work perfectly fine once I add credits. Fingers crossed. It got pretty far, so I'm pretty happy with it. Okay, let's save it. Don't know. What are the costs per credits? Let me see. How much do Grok AI credits cost to use? Let's just see if they can roughly figure out what I'm saying back to that. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like $10 here. Maybe I can do $5. Can I do $5? Maybe I should have done $1. $2 is 1 million tokens, so probably not going to get too far. The specific cost for Grok is $3 per what? Per million, maybe? Okay, so I've got a lot of tokens here. Okay, show code. Yes, that's fine. Copy, close. Okay, let's try it again. Let's refresh. Okay, and then we're going to use our location. And we're going to do 6 and those ages. And then we're going to do find activity. Okay, hold on now. Is this the same error? Oh, it still says I have no credits. But it also said I bought credits. Let me refresh this. It might take a second to update. Let's just hope that's the case. Because I see my API key. You have different models here. For text input, it is $3, I think, per million. And that's fine. So let's wait a second. Let's try one more time. Okay, so you know what? Instead of putting this into here. I'm going to actually put this in the chat. Yeah, it's waiting for my first request. Need the exact error. Oh, okay. Let's see. I might just use Postman to try this out. And we can just do it like that. Let me just pull up Postman right now because I might do that. I might just run Postman just to do a test with the API key. So sometimes I find myself in Postman just testing some of these APIs out to make sure I have everything that I fully understand, so that I can just pass any necessary information to VO. It's taking a while to search the web and figure this out. Normally, it should be instantaneous if I bought credits. If I normally buy credits for anything, it should work. Okay, that belongs to the key that already has credits. API key, each line, pick the one under the funded. Yeah, okay, hold on, let me check something real quick here. Check my API key. Oh, wait a second. That might not be right. No, it is. Wait a second. Let me check if it's right. It is right. Okay, so I have the correct key. Okay, so key is not an issue. Buy credits. Delete any empty teams you don't need. No. Wait 30 seconds, then run a quick test. Okay, I guess we could just do this. Let's do this real quick. I haven't done this in a while. Let's just give this a shot. Well, here, let me pull up Postman real quick. The full instructions to do this in Postman. I just want to do a quick request here. Again, I might refresh because it's possible that it just takes a second. There we go. Okay, it just took some time. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, great. All right, so here we have stuff loading up. We have activities. We have other things. Okay, family, art day, ages, pricing, mileage. It even shows up on the map, which I did not even tell it to really, like, I didn't even give it an API for that. So to be honest with you, I'm not sure where they're pulling this up. To the best of my knowledge, I used to have to connect Google Maps or something, but I guess it's OpenStreetMaps. So by leaflets, so fantastic. I don't know. I'll just use that. Okay. However, I can tell you that not all of the items have shown up, but it is doing it on here. Okay, which I'm happy with. So this is basically working. I mean, we were pretty close to getting it working, where we just needed this to basically show up. So we have kids science workshop. Okay, so here's the next step. One, let's see if we can get the data. I want to see what it's returning. Okay, So it's getting this data. I want to get more data. Let me see. Now here's where we can kind of jump into some stuff. Let's see. Okay, so it's getting this result cards props. So it's getting it from here. Okay. Let me double check this real quick. Again, I really want to reiterate that I'm a speed coder, meaning I focus on getting product to market as fast as humanly possible and not perfecting everything. So if you're a professional coder, like I was, and I've worked with many professional coders who were optimization focused, where they really wanted to make everything as perfect as possible, and instead of just putting something on paper, they would take forever to get it done. But what they would do was, it was much shorter, much faster. I get that. I'm a lot more just kind of get something done and on paper kind of coder. So if you're watching this and you're a programmer, you're like, why the heck is this guy, kind of racing through this stuff? That's why. I don't care if the code looks good or not. I just want to get something out there and start testing it out. That's just what works for me. So let's see. All right, let me see. So right now we're missing a description and maybe images. I want to pull in a description to include on the result card and an image of the event. There is one that we can use. Okay, because we have this, we have the date. I also want the date to be formatted. Okay, let's make a few changes. Date should be ordered by date. I want the date format to be like this. Monday. June. Oh, geez, what day is it today? It's Tuesday. Okay, let's just go with Tuesday. Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. No, that's fine. Okay. And then let's see what else we might want. The map. Okay, so here's like kind of a weird thing. The map only has 4 icons. Okay, so this is an error. The map only has 4 icons, even though there are more than 4 events. The map probably needs to be updated whenever a new event is added to the list. Okay. And is that it? We want a description. We want an image. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's do it. So we're getting pretty close to done here. But as you can see, it works. There's so many other things we could do. We could have after the activities, maybe we have it hide. After you hit find activity, hide this kind of, accordion it up, basically. Make it an accordion that just kind of hides, and you can drop it down again whenever you're ready to find a new activity. That would be pretty easy to do. There's so many things you could do, but we already have some basic stuff here to try to find some activities. And you know what? I'm gonna kind of let's do some fixes. I got a little bit of time, so let's just do some fixes. Let's see if we can get it to do the current location. Manual address entry requires future geocoding integration. So let's do this. Let's do future geocoding integration. Let's do the accordion where it drops up. Let's make sure that we have all of these icons on here. And that's fine. Look at that, even added in all that information. So that's nice. Okay. This is kind of the cool part where you can just make these little changes so easily as well. So it doesn't just do this whole basic thing. And again, you can tell it what you want the UI to look like. You can actually even upload images to show it what you want the UI to look like. I basically just kind of let it go. I don't really care that much, you know, and I would just make changes as I go as well. I'm a big form follows function guy, so I just want to see what it looks like on the page, which is all the data, and then I can really start thinking about, okay, this is what I think it should look like and what changes we need to make. But this is just truly incredible. You know, again, I don't know why VO isn't talked about a lot more. It's clearly the best. I haven't even done backend yet, or I haven't showed you guys backend yet, because backend integrates with this too, with Supabase. You can create full stack applications very, very easily, very quickly. I've already created some. I have a couple cool ones I want to work on here to show you how we can not just create backend, but also do some really cool, like different types of integrations with AI to actually integrate AI into it even more. So like this one is integrating AI in order to pull this data every single time, which is really nice. Because again, you don't have to save a list, or you could have the AI save a list somewhere, and then you just save the list, and then you just make sure as it keeps pulling in that it deletes any duplicates. So there's so many things you can do. Like I just don't think people understand yet that you don't have to do things by hand. It can be done for you using AI. People just don't know how that works. So I'm hoping to kind of show people some of this stuff, because I do this for my business. I do this for things in my life where I'm just like, hey, I just want this. Like this is a perfect example, right? Is like I mentioned, I homeschool my kids. I want homeschool activities, right? Like, you know, I guess I need to get the geolocation because I don't know how many kids in this area homeschool. But let's just say I type in homeschool. Okay, it's kind of weird. It's going to grok search every single time. That's not appropriate. So we gotta fix that. But here we go. Homeschool Science Day, Homeschool Science Exploration, Homeschool Art Workshop for Kids, Homeschool Science Exploration Day. It's probably, you know, repeating some of these. Some of these are on, yeah, it's repeating some of them. So we're going to have to get that fixed. Was that what was happening last time? Okay, so, yeah, the search is happening on keyword input, which we absolutely do not want. These updates should give you much. Okay, let's give it a try. Let's just take our time. We're going to find all these bugs, debug it, figure it out. And the crazy thing is, you know, when I was coding it again, I'm a very fast coder. I don't go for perfection. Pretty much everywhere I worked, I would get work done a lot faster than everybody else. I'm not saying that like I was better than them. It's just I just coded differently. So I would like, you know, I just wasn't a perfectionist, if that makes sense. Like I didn't care that much about having the absolute perfect code structure. My goal was to finish as fast as possible. Keep in mind, you know, I would frequently have my own business or do my own business. And then if I would code for somebody else, it's like, look, especially if I was doing hourly work, it's like, look, you just want to get it done, right? Like you don't really care, because especially if it's like a small company, they just don't care. You don't need to code this beautiful, you know, code that they're not ever going to look at. It doesn't matter to them, right? They won't even understand why they might even want that. I'm not saying like, you know, you want to give them some slow code, but the goal for most businesses is to get it done as fast as possible for as cheap as possible to test out whatever they're doing immediately. And a lot of programmers just don't get that. They're just like, oh, well, you know, it makes more sense. Let me take a couple more weeks and charge you another like 120 hours to do this. And it's like, no, they just kind of want to do it. They don't want to spend another like, you know, $15,000. That doesn't really make a ton of sense. All right, so let's see how this works. Okay, it's not doing it now. So it only did it. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Ooh, broken image. There's a description. Now, Homeschool Science Day. Tuesday. Thursday. Sunday. Thursday, wait. Homeschool Science Fair. 3 a.m. That can't be right. All right, so here's part of the problem. What it's doing right now is it's just continually loading, and it's basically like streaming it in, I guess, for whatever reason. see if I can actually figure out what's going on because, yeah. Okay, so duplicating a lot of the items in the list. Only display. Is it going in order? Homeschool art. Let me see. Yes, but it's not exactly in order. Sometimes it's a little bit different. Okay, so it should only display, you know, an item a single time in the list. Make sure that the list only displays once all the information pulled in from Grok's API. And the times are way off, showing 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. Maybe it's using the wrong time zone. Needs to match the time zone of the user. And then we have, let's see, that's all fine. So I think there's actually only about 5 items that they're showing. And so let's also see if this is happening as well. We all the way at the bottom here? Okay. Okay, so we're going to fix this. So after I already clicked find activity, when I start typing again, it, again, in the keywords, let me actually see if it does it for anything else too. Okay, after I make, okay, make any change in the, what do we call this section? In the inputs area, it automatically starts searching for, it automatically triggers the API again. Even for each letter, type in the keywords input. It should only run after clicking find activities. Okay, and then, okay, let's fix this, and then we're gonna do this other stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. We're only about 30 minutes in, so we don't have a ton more to do here. We have some fixes to do, some debugging. Probably won't be too bad. And we'll see what we can do. And I need to figure out how I get live viewers to get anybody to chat while I'm doing this, because I'm normally sitting here waiting and desperately trying to fill in blank time. Whoop. Okay, this happens if the array returns overlapping results across pagination required. Okay. Okay. I'm not sure if I love that solution for client-side deduplication, but that's okay. Incorrect time zones. Yep, that's what I figured. Probably UTC. And then API retrigger and input change. Refetches when the key changes. We need to ensure only fetches based on the filters that were explicitly submitted via the button. Yeah. Okay. And then we still want to do this accordion thing. We still want to do, the geocoding integration would be nice to have if we have time. Again, though, I think you're kind of getting the gist of this and how this works. Now, the images are also all broken, which is annoying. It would be nice if they weren't, but we're gonna see what we can do about that. Okay. Let's deploy. Let's see how this goes. Unique event ID. Okay. Okay, creating optimized production build. Keep going. Okay, it's making a lot of changes. So we'll see how this goes and if there's any kind of errors. Okay. Okay, here we go. Use my location. I'll just go with this. See what happens with the grok search. Good. So we have 1, 2, only 3 items. Okay, so it seems a little low, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This is better. This is much better. Oh, 4. Is it duplicating it? No, it's not. Interesting. So, very interesting. That's fine. The obvious problem is that the way it's pulling it in, it's only pulling in 3 at a time, I guess. And so we need to resort the list. So let's tell it to do that. Okay. And the list is no longer in, is no longer ordered by date. Items are all ordered by date when new items get added in. And then we're going to, let me see. I guess it's just searching forever. I don't know. Is it just going to keep going? Okay, so that's fine. Maybe it just kind of ran out. I'm not really sure. There are no images here. That's really unfortunate. The images would be helpful. It's only giving example images. It's not giving a real image. Okay, so let me see. No real images are being included. Any ideas on how to include real images of the event? Okay, and then we're going to do let's get rid of this. Okay, so be able to type in a city, zip. Is there something I'm missing? City zip code or something else. Oh, it's wrong with me. It was completely blanking. This might be what happens when you use AI too much. You get too many answers at the same time. So like city, zip. I'm going to actually type in coordinates. So, okay, city or zip code to for the location. Clicking. Use my location. Once, find activities. Want that entire section to scroll up into an accordion type animation that can then be dropped down by clicking on it again. Okay, and then we might be good. Okay, let's do it. We're basically done. We're basically there. I mean, again, it's been an hour and a half, maybe total since I've been working on this. Again, I've been talking to nobody. No, wait. I've got one subscriber. I've been talking to my only fan. Thank you. And let me know what time you're on here, and I'll try to make sure that I can, stream while you're available. So feel free to post in the comments, and I'll try to make it work. I'm trying to do about, I don't know, sometime between like 3 to 6 Pacific time. Seems to work right now for me. Of course, I'm only going to be here on Pacific time for the next 2 months. Then I'm back to the East Coast. Well, let's see what happens here. Let's get this completed. Oh, this I can close out. I don't need that. Maybe I need different thumbnails. Maybe that's it. Because still 0 viewers. I feel like I'm doing a good time of day. I guess I need to change my title. Maybe it's not catchy enough. Maybe my images just aren't catchy enough for the thumbnails. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll do a picture of myself instead of just AI that I've had ChatGPT create. I don't know. I've got to play around with a bunch of stuff and see what I can do. But let's see. Okay, data sorting. Yep, real images. To explicitly ask for publicly accessible stock photo URL if a real event image isn't available. Sure. Guess that's fine. Okay, and then we're going to... Did it finish it? Normally... It did, because there's the accordion. Okay, so we're going to deploy. Normally, it will say some more stuff. Collapsible filter, manual location input. Let's see how this works. Coolio. Okay. For the next streams, I'm going to do something a little bit more complex. I just wanted to start very, very basic. And so this is a pretty basic app. So the next one's probably going to be more of a... Maybe I want to do a choose your own adventure book where you actually talk to the AI and just kind of have it walk you through what you want to do. You know, we'll kind of play around with that and see. But I think a choose your own adventure kind of book could be fun. Okay, let's do Orlando, Florida. Let's see. Find activities. No results found. Oh, wait, nope, that's not what happened. Okay, great. So geolocation's working, except it has no results found. You could go in and say, don't do no results found. Instead, say looking. And look at that. We got a stock image. I mean, family fun day at Lake Eola. That, you know, I don't think that's Lake Eola. I don't know where they got this image from, but that's not what it's going to look like. Family art workshop. Let's make up closer. Much, much closer. Again, family art workshop. Unfortunately, the same day. So again, we'd have to go through and fix this. Let's see. A lot of family. Is there something different about it? Oh, wait, there's something different. And the time zone's still wrong. But again, that's not a huge deal. We'd be able to fix that. Okay. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell it to get rid of the images. Oh, no, shoot. Okay. Or display them. 2. The time is still off. Convert it from UTC to the time zone the user chose. 3. Based on, let me make sure I get specific, based on the location. Selected. 3. Let's do like a type of activity, you know, like let's see if we can kind of put in a section for type of activity. Art, you know, music, what else? I don't know. Science, etc. And what did it show at the beginning? for after they click on find activities, this pops up. Text appears. Isn't correct. Should show a searching animation and should only show that text when nothing is found. Okay. There we go. Let's see how this does. Okay. So again, you just kind of go through, you're just making changes, you're testing. So it's kind of weird because you are QA now. Like you do the QA, and that's a funny thing. Like a QA person that actually is good at QA and understands some basic code could now create their own full stack applications. So you don't have to go through an entire course. Like I ran a coding bootcamp. I started and ran a coding bootcamp and founded one in San Francisco for about 5 years. We did a course that was 16 weeks long. People actually realistically at the time, again, this was when tech was kind of going a little nuts with hiring. You could have got hired after about 8 weeks for sure. You had enough skills to do some basic stuff. Got hired for a very, very junior level role with HTML and CSS. And then after another 8 weeks, you probably could have gotten taken on as more like junior level JavaScript developer or something like that. Now, if I was to teach somebody this, I don't know, if I put in that much time and they actually put in 40 hours, like what we wanted them to do was put in 20 to 40 hours a week, maybe a week or two, and then they can do this. It really wouldn't be that hard. I need to just explain some of these concepts. Now, of course, as an experienced developer, I'm going to understand a lot more. But the truth is, if you run into any errors that can't be solved from VO, you just paste it into ChatGPT and they'll normally tell you what's going on. And you can ask it for more detail so it can explain what's happening. It'll give you some more details on what's going on. All right, so let's see. All right, let's deploy. And I mean, check this out. This is kind of crazy, right? Because what version are we even on? I'm not even sure. We're on like less than 10 or something. Like basically less than 10 requests, and I've already gotten this far. That's the insane thing is, I mean, once it gets more complicated, it does become a problem. I'm not sure if this would work for something like a Salesforce, right? Which is just a massive, massive application. You're really going to struggle to build and replicate something like that. But again, it's not that it can't be done. It's just that VO might not be ideal for it right now in order to do that. But it's pretty clear it's going that way. Like coding is, it's just like with a lot of the other stuff, with copywriting is already clearly out. Really good copywriters, if they haven't already, should have already started using some applications like this. They should have already started using ChatGPT to pump out, 10 things a day or 20 things or 100 pieces of content a day or something instead. All right, let's see how this works. There we go. It's searching. See, searching animation is now going while Grok is pending. It fetched the request. It's doing a little bit more, I think. Hopefully, it's trying to pull up that information. It's at 200. Where are we at? Is it going to try to do the whole thing? Let's see. It might. It might just do that. Look at that. It went away, so you can't even click on it until it's done. Okay, interesting. Okay, so error. Error occurred. It never stopped the finding activity information even after the first Grok search was successful with a 200 code. So it's a little odd, but we'll kind of fix this. Let's see. That has to do with probably the fix that we had before, where we fix this one thing, but then it caused another error. So again, this is kind of what happens. So you're frequently just doing QA on it, which, by the way, is what you have to do anyway, because a lot of times when you are a coder, you're not really going through every single edge case. This isn't necessarily an edge case, but you're not going through every single situation and trying to figure out like, okay, is this working? Is this not working? It just kind of varies a little bit. Let's see if we can get that fixed. And it's already been 50 minutes, so we'll probably call it a day here. Already 5 o'clock. Is loading searches being managed in conjunction? Callback. We want is loading search to reflect the initial search operation. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's see. See what pulls up. This should be much clearer and accurate loading experience for users. Still taking a second to load. A little bit longer than last time. That's a little weird. Yeah, again, this is actually pretty small compared to some of my other projects that I've done in here. Other projects are way longer. Oh, what's going on? Uh-oh. All right, let's... oh, there we go. By the way, you might be wondering why I am going to this other screen to do it. There's a couple reasons. One, I get the network in the console, which is very helpful. Two, a lot of times it doesn't work in here, like with the API calls. I don't know if it's just because it's embedded. I'm not really sure what's going on, but so I just prefer just to push it out here and use it over here. Seems to work better for me. Well, let's give it a try and see if this solves it. Okay, there we go. Let's refresh. Let's do Orlando again. We find activities. Fingers crossed. Grok search is pending. All right, we're in business. Okay, so it's going. It says that's all the activities found. It's going to keep finding more. Again, we'd probably solve this. We'd have a search at the bottom. I don't want to go through every single little thing that it does. But yeah, we could definitely make this work. And again, the dates are good too. Look at that. 17, 16, 16, 16, 15, 15, 14, 12, 10. So we have this in here. Ages, let's see. Yep, we even have little tags here. Art, science, outdoor play. Right, we have an outdoor play festival. Oh, I need to include the links for these. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to jump into this right now, but that's essentially how you're doing this. You know, all this different stuff. It just kind of happens in here. So this is what's going on. It's pretty straightforward to do. Again, this is a basic app that we have, and there's so much more that you can do with this that I'll be showing you guys. I was even working on like a D&D game, the 4-player one. I'm probably going to try to do that. That's going to be a much longer series of actually getting that to work. But I don't know. Maybe 1 subscriber will lead to 2 and 2 to 3. And, you know, I'll have even more motivation to do this. I mean, I do this for fun anyway, to be honest with you. So I'll probably just end up keep doing this. I would like to get more subscribers. So if you're watching this and you want to be my 2nd subscriber, please go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, leave a comment on what you want me to make or post any questions you have about this. I'd love to kind of go back and forth. There's a lot of different AI people that I talk to, and we kind of go over a lot of this stuff. But yeah, all right, guys, that's it for today. So I'm just going to leave it off here. All right.